The topic of sexual violence is such a taboo that, well, first of all, sex is challenging for people to talk about in the first place. Our culture does not foster open conversation about sex or sexuality. When it comes to violence, it's a very, very heavy topic. Rape, just as a word, has impact on people. They're just like, I don't want any of that. Please keep that away from me. I'm trying to be happy over here, right? The problem with that is that survivors don't have that option. They don't have the option to just disregard this issue. Honestly, doing the research, I realized that this is not just a problem that is exclusive to colleges. It is not just an issue for a random circumstance of a woman in a back alley getting jumped out at by someone hiding in the shadows. That this is actually a cultural epidemic. And the more that I learned about it, the more passionate I became. And I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to encourage other men to join the movement to end sexual violence. Despite the efforts of conscious parents trying to bestow these ideas to their kids, they're not really equipped because the generations are so different. And I think the influences of media really can't be overstated. We live in a media-saturated culture, and all of the cues and prompts that we're getting about how to act and how to be men and women just don't really line up with the truth of how people actually live and feel. And there's a lot of work that we need to do. So it's time to get to it. We have to face hard truths. The numbers are staggering as far as sexual violence is concerned in this country, and we have to face it. Turning a blind eye is unacceptable at this point, and if you are thinking that you are just going to be passive and keep it at arm's length, then you are actually part of the problem, and that needs to change. And so facing the hard truths and then doing something. It could be really simple. It could be simply being prepared to listen to a woman's experience when they felt threatened. Or it could be stepping in when somebody makes a crass comment about, casually, I'm gonna rape that girl, and saying that's not okay with me. Do something. And then I would hope that you'll go the extra mile and actually gather people, form groups, be advocates, and shift your community at a larger level. In a word, if I could sum it all up, I think empathy is really the critical component for a healthy relationship. The idea that one can experience how someone else is feeling and really identify with them. I think that if there was a more empathy in our culture in general, I feel like if we had more education around how to communicate effectively and relate to each other, that I think that would reduce violence dramatically. Getting men to recognize that it's actually really awesome to join the team with the good guys, that would be my favorite takeaway if I could really instill that in whoever engages the Check Your Mail program. I feel like becoming a proactive advocate for safety, there is a reward of knowing that if you've made even a small difference in the way that somebody uses their language so that it's less violent, you can be really confident that you've done something good that is helping someone, is helping survivors to know that we're in this together, and really as a community, we can shift the culture, we can shift away from rape culture into something much more healthy, and ultimately I think everyone will be happier and having better relationships.